New York Times bestselling author Ta-Nehisi Coates is sharing his personal journey with younger readers. His new book, The Beautiful Struggle, was adapted from his 2008 memoir of the same name to appeal to young adults. It's about growing up in West Baltimore in the 1980s. Coates writes about how he succeeded and became the man he is with the help of his parents' tough love. Ta-Nehisi Coates joins us now. Good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
What kind of a challenge is it to take something that you wrote? It's the first book you wrote, I think, 13 years ago now. And
12 years ago, I'm 13, yeah.
Can you believe it?
Time flies, man.
Yeah, sure thing. But so how did you, what was your approach in adapting this for younger readers?
Well, I actually had quite a bit of help adapting it, but I think one of the really fortunate things about it is when I wrote it at the time, I think I was 31 when Beautiful Struggle published, and what I always imagined was that it was a younger version of me, say in my early 20s, writing to a high school / middle school version of me. So it was always supposed to be the book that I would have wanted to see at that period of time. So in many ways, I think that the foundation was there.
Yeah, that's such an interesting state of mind to put yourself in.
I think so too. But Ta-Nehisi, when I look at your life, you've had really quite a life, and I wonder if you were hard on yourself because you describe yourself going to school as a monument to unknowledge, fat cheeks, that you talked a lot. In second grade, they actually diagnosed you as probably mentally challenged, would be a very polite way of saying it.
Wow.
But your mom always believed your mom always believed, she never gave up on you. And I look at you, do you ever marvel about how your life turned out when you consider the background of how you started? I'm saying kudos and bravo to your mom.
I do. You know, I had a great mother. I mean, my mom taught me to read. She's probably the most consequential figure in terms of me being a writer in the first place. But you know what I have to say, Gayle? I think, like, if I had to completely write that book again now, I would have been much more understanding of the younger me. It's telling that it was published that originally almost 12 years ago. Because, I've now had some experience, some time. My own son is now 20 years old, you know what I mean? So I know, what kids are actually like. And I think a lot in that book is me trying to figure out what's wrong with me. And if I could say anything to my younger self now, I would say nothing. Nothing at all, brother.
So
nothing at all.
Ta-Nehisi, you write about how your mom was always looking towards Mecca, which is Howard University, which I love that idea. And she said, what you write is, what I could not understand was that she believed that I was owed, that no matter what I'd done in high school, somehow I was entitled to see the Mecca, to find my place in this great black cosmopolis. Where does, as you look back now, what was the root of that faith that she had, do you think?
So I think, first of all, my mom, herself, she, was a graduate of HBCU, Coppin, in Baltimore. And I think having that reference point, a lot of, her, sisters and relatives who had gone to, HBCUs, University of Maryland, Eastern Shore. And so there was, I think that sense in general of HBCUs as a kind of, place of haven, for black kids. But I think more than that, and this goes back to, what I was saying before, I think at that time my mom really had that kind of forgiveness and tenderness that I wish I had had when I wrote the book. She probably had, some great understanding herself, having been a teacher, that, where you start is not where you end up. And 16-year-old you is not a verdict on who you ultimately will be.
We just saw a shot of you when you were at Howard, but I got such a kick out of your mom because you wrote that she said you didn't want to go to Howard at first, and your mom gave you that.
I didn't.
Your mom gave you that what this is smile when she was talking to you about what's going to happen here. And that when you made a mistake, she made you do an essay to write over and over what you did and how you did it and why you did it. But I want to talk to you, Ta-Nehisi, about the current events, because all of us are still reeling and so rocked by what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. We'll all remember. We will never, ever forget. What went through your mind when you saw that unfold at the United States Capitol?
This is horrible to say. We told you so. I wouldn't even say I told you so. We told you so.
Who's the we?
I think there have been a number of the we is I would say African-American writers and African-Americans at large. I think there were a number of people that in the wake of Donald Trump's election were very, very clear about the great danger that a Trump presidency would pose not just to black people but to the United States itself. And we we're told that, we're making too much out of this. Oh, he's not really a white supremacist. Oh, it's not that bad. Oh, the office of the presidency will sober him. Oh, there are people around him who will make sure, and curb his power. And his presidency ends with him inciting an attack on the Congress of the United States of America.
Ta-Nehisi, what do you...
hopefully people will take this seriously now.
What do you think? How significant do you think the damage is from this?
Oh, I think it's quite significant. I think it's quite significant because if I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe ultimately even after that attack, at least half, perhaps a majority of the Republican congresspeople in the House of Representatives voted against, the idea of affirming the vote of the American people.
Still supported him, yes.
Still supported. And so you have to say that there is, the riot can almost be a distraction. The insurrection can be a distraction. There is a deeply felt sense in a certain population in this country that we should have a minoritarian form of government.
Right.
And that's not going away.
Okay. I apologize. We have to go. I so appreciate you being here. The Beautiful Struggle is the book. Ta-Nehisi Coates, thank you so much for joining us. We'll be right back.
Good to see you.